Who doesn't like a good pair of shoes? Shoe culture. That's right, people coming together to hype up a pair of stitch leather meant to be wrapped around your feet, your dogs, or your grippers, if you will. Years of evolved technology and researching on what's the best way to protect your feet while walking and running or doing any basic daily activity to avoid blisters and bacteria from the cruel, dirty ground. We are now here with the shoe, the essential to drip. And I'm here to explain why the scene is awesome. And before I start, I'm not referring to the hypebeast scene, where people just come in to show off and flex in front of everybody, or people buying shoes just cuz and never actually wear them, and people claiming their status on their sneakers they have, and of course the robbing and scamming stuff. No, I'm only referring to the actual culture of buying and wearing them, from the actual everyday consumer and collector, instead of people just hogging or flexing them. Anyways, there's literally many different styles and brands you could choose from Nike, Jordan, Adidas, Converse, Pumas, Levi's, Reeboks, or if you want to get freaky, you can step into the Crocs rabbit hole. There's many different styles and preferences you can choose to drip yourself out in, and at the end of the day, people could still hype you up. I remember this one time in 6th grade, I came with a new pair of J's. They weren't a new release or anything new. I just thought they looked cool and picked them out when I was out shoe shopping, and I had this guy hyping me up and giving me a high five, telling me to keep them fresh. Real life encounters like this is one of the reasons why I love shoe culture from the average consumer. You don't have to be dripped out in anything fancy. Sure, having a special release shoe is cool and dope and all, but it isn't really necessary to be a part of the culture. Any cool shoe from any brand and style would do. I remember there's times where people would be standing outside shoe stores at the mall in the mornings, waiting for what I presume to be a new release. I mean, it's cool and all, but not really necessary. But hey, the shoe was probably something cool AF. But like, if you're an office worker who don't really need something like that, then you can just buy a pair of daily shoes and still be dripped out as heck. Or, you know, just wearing normal sneakers to work at this point. Everyone, from celebrities, singers, and presenters, would be dripped out at concerts and events, which basically makes sneaker wearing the norm at this point. You don't really need the new release, just a basic pair of Jordan 1s, originally designed in 1985 I might add, would be enough to get you flashing. Shoes never really go out of style, even if they're yellow you're still rocking. Everyone would just come together. Whenever there's a new shoe around, or if you're just rocking something cool, there's always something that can be appreciated and admired. I mean, when it comes to other things like sports or shows and anime, there's always going to be some division between the fans or fan bases. But in shoe culture, everyone's just happy to see anything. There isn't someone going around hating a specific shoe, or shaming anyone who is wearing something they don't like. Besides, of course, the people that I mentioned before. You can just wear what you want, and I think that's pretty neat. Now, there's some people who actually see shoe culture as people buying a lot of expensive shoes and starting a collection in their closet, and in most cases people having different variants and colors of the same shoe. Whenever you have a large collection you dedicate your whole closet to, or if you just have a few pairs, maybe sometimes going over 10 or 20, I don't know, who knows. It could be seen and treated as a collectible item to some people, and that I could have respect for. Look, people collect and buy all sorts of things, such as Funko Pops, anime figures, toys or action figures, DVD releases, manga and other stuff. But you can't really do much with them once you finish building and assembling them, or read and watch them all. Like, once you're done with them, they're just going to sit there at your shelf or wherever you put them in, and collect dust and take up space. There's probably going to be days where you go up to them, take them out, give a good look at them for a minute or 3, and then put them back and move on with your day. Look, I have no hate or abusive judgment to anyone who collects any of these things. But when you're collecting shoes, you're not just buying a decorative item that's just gonna sit there, but you're actually buying a piece of clothing that you actually get to wear and use, mostly on a daily basis. Like, when buying a collectible, I feel like it's nice for it to have some kind of use to your everyday life, or to me at least. But hey, if you're one of those people who like to put up your shoes like that, then hey, that's you. Alright, time to talk about my own personal experience and my small little tiny collection. Hey. Now the shoe that got me into shoe culture was this. The Jordan 32 MVPs. And as you can see, it's a bit dirty because I actually wear them. Hold on, this is nasty, give me a sec. Boom! Now the backstory behind this was back in 2018 when I was out shoe shopping with my parents. I saw the Jordan 32 low win like 82. Yes, that's the actual name. And they really caught my eye. And my dad was actually okay with me getting them, but the problem was that they didn't even have it in my size. Then I had to sadly settle on this black pair of Jordan 4s that I bought at this sketchy store next to a bridge that may or may not have been reps, but I actually don't really know. I don't know, I remember feeling very weird and stiff when wearing them. Then 3 years later, I decided to finally avenge myself by looking them up online and getting ready for the next time I buy a pair of shoes. But then below them, I saw the MVPs and I instantly fell in love with them because I really liked the color gray. So sometime later, I found them on GOAT and I actually got them, but they're actually a half size smaller than my normal shoe size, so I had to squeeze my feet the first time I got them. But they fit now, and my feet have possibly shrunk because of them. So here we are a year and a half later with my favorite pair of shoes, creased AF but still happy that I get to have them in my possession. Next we have these, a pair of charcoal grey Ultra Crush Pro Vans. Who's naming these things? Anyways, I got these as I waited until I found a fair price on the 32s online, which took quite a while, but as you can see I eventually got them. You can actually see me wearing them on the vlog from the previous video. Feel free to go check that out if you want. So I got these, I like the color. I mostly get shoes based on their color and design, rather than their significance or release. Yeah, I just use them now as a daily shoe, or if it's hot outside and I don't feel like wearing normal sneakers. They're great, they're compact, and they're comfortable. Next, my more interesting shoe. The Jordan 6 Retro OG Carmen. I actually finessed these online during a Black Friday sale that was happening with literally a few minutes left before it ended. I got these for like $135, which was a major steal since the original price can go up to like 200 smackaroos. It took like a month for them to get here, but again, it eventually came. I actually found these when I was scrolling through GOAT with my dad. He pointed them out, and I ended up really liking the way they looked. So I kept an eye on them for a year and eventually got them for my birthday. Thanks, Dad. And also, I have another pair which I like to consider part of my collection, if you will. And they're a pair of Zoom 92s, but they're like in my closet that's filled with a lot of junk, and I don't really feel like getting them out, not even for this video. So that's all the shoes I have and really need. I only really buy shoes once a year, and I'm considering the next time I'm probably gonna settle on a pair of Jordan 1s, since I never actually owned a pair. Who knows, I might settle on the Hatsune Miku 1s. And just for fun, why not? If I'm probably gonna get an expensive shoe, I'm thinking of the Jordan 32 Final. Ayo Complex, put me on there. So anyways, I think shoe culture is dope, and I rock with y'all, even though I don't really consider myself to be full on there. I just like the way shoes look, and I like how looking at them bring us together, especially with the, you know, all the stuff that's happening in the world right now. And also an important reminder to not have an obsession with them. Like don't go spending your whole bi-weekly paycheck on shoes you don't really need. And this goes for like everything that I mentioned before. Like make sure your bills are covered first. Like make sure you have food and other clothings. And please take care of your family before you go out to buy expensive shoes, or literally any other expensive collectible. Also, please actually wear them. I love this statement by Ed Sheeran.
I think the biggest shame is, like, you know, sometimes I watch, like, when you go into people's closets and they go, there's this amazing pair of shoes and I've never worn them. Yeah. And I'm like, what? Why have... It's like watches, like people who are into watches or wine, they buy wine and they never drink it. Like, what's the point? It's meant to be worn. If you're a sneakerhead, you should wear the shoes.
I agree. What's the point of having them if you're not even gonna wear them? I mean, if you don't want them getting dirty from dirt and mud outside, then I completely understand. And hey, I even do that too most of the time. Just please wear them once for something. Anyways, that's all I have for this video. I'm Jay Fabian, signing off. Take care.